I have a bit in my stand-up right now where I break down white folks into a spectrum, and I'm gonna throw this to Khalil.
All right. I like this.
Uh-oh.
I like it. Is this one of
This
these
is a
jokes like
test.
white people do, but black people do it this way?
No, I do not do those jokes. The only joke I do that even closely resembles that is that black people say pussy when they have sex, and I've heard that white people do not. And that is weirdly fascinating to me.
Yeah,
but I have a litmus test that I present to people on determining where their white friends fall on this spectrum. Okay. And the spectrum is white people, people who happen to be white, allies, and co-conspirators. Okay. And the spectrum is related to how they responded to January 6th. So I want to first ask, Ben, on January 6th, how did you respond? What was your, like, watching the TV thought process? And then how did you relate this to Khalil?
Actually, I think we were texting or we were on the phone with one another at some point during
No, man, you're on your own. You got to stand on your own.
I was
pale feet.
I was completely baffled. Like I couldn't believe this was happening. Like, this is real?
Wow.
Like, this is real?
What a great question.
Yeah. And this is like this slow motion, almost like the way, sort of the comic way people were dressed, and that this is continuing, like it was like a slow motion fall kind of thing, because it wasn't all at once. It was people gathering. And then just a kind of, I mean, it was mixed with this sort of knowledge that Donald Trump was leaving. So we were already, feeling a kind of release, but then this dread, like that this could be pulled away, that this could not happen, that there was just this possibility.
So I ain't white, but I like these crazy motherfuckers.
Okay, so just so you know, the punchline of the joke is that co-conspirators texted their black friends and said, "Look at these crackers."
Yeah.
So so I'll give you that caveat, because when you said the way they were comically dressed, I'm like, that falls in line.
There's a recent Atlanta episode where they're testing this biracial kid, whether he's black or white.
Yes.
And they talk about a shooting, and he answers it the way I did, and they were like the answer was that was the correct answer. So that's all I should have said.
Exactly, because that's what I was thinking. I just shook my head. I was like, this is just fucked up, man. These people, and again, the most shocking thing wasn't even that they were doing it. The most shocking thing was that they weren't getting shot down in the process.
Yeah,
like that's, to me, I was like, even like, I mean, I shouldn't have been surprised, but even that, I thought, oh no, the cops are running. Oh, this is wild. This is wild.
Yeah.
They're like climbing up the walls. Like, if that had been black people, y'all, they would have been shooting them like roaches on a wall, just like pew 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 pew. And Ben, do you consider yourself a co-conspirator?
Does one consider oneself a co-conspirator, or is it an external thing?
Oh, see, he's
I'll take that. Okay. Khalil, do you consider Ben a co-conspirator?
I do. Yeah, if I was in the trenches, he'd be there with me. But honestly, I think he's a hybrid, because when you asked the question about like what the 4 categories were, it was the second one that was most resonant in my head, which is a guy who happens to be white.
Yeah.
Like that's what I thought of first and foremost.
Yeah.
Well, because the people who happen to be white is really just like, I don't really believe in this shit, like not necessarily, but I also don't. It's also not lost on me though that I benefit from this shit, right? Like, this whiteness thing is
like I wouldn't be out there, but they probably had their good reasons. Like that. Like that, I wouldn't go there, but they're probably.
Oh yeah, that's not Ben. Okay, I get it. I get it.
Hey, you nailed it. Yes.
Some of them probably, they might have lost their jobs. They might have. Yeah. They have also suffered.
There's an empathy there.